Is this really, 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 really going to be your last Star Wars appearance?
I sure hope so.
Uh, why?
Well, because, I had closure in the last one. The fact that I'm involved in any capacity is only because of that peculiar aspect of the Star Wars mythology where if you're a Jedi, you get to come back and make a curtain call as a Force ghost.
Hello there. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee. It's truly a blessing to have you watching here today. If you're a daily coffee drinker, welcome back. But if you're new to the channel, I would like to encourage you to subscribe. We have a great community of fans here at Star Wars Coffee. They're always very supportive of one another and of my efforts, and that is something that I truly appreciate, telling me to put my health before content. And I really do appreciate that, and I do my best to respond to the comments. So if that sounds like something you'd like to have, is me responding to your ideas or your thoughts on a video, this is the place for you. But with that being said, let's get into today's video. Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker. He's one of the best characters of all time in the Star Wars lore, and Mark Hamill is done playing Luke Skywalker after Episode 9. He's done playing Luke Skywalker, and in case you haven't noticed, he has been extremely quiet when it comes to comments about the film, comments about the character, comments about the direction of the story. Why? Well, it's because of this. It is because last time, during the Last Jedi press tour and during that whole life cycle of that film coming to fruition, that Mark Hamill had his own sideshow. It was essentially a three-ring circus with The Last Jedi haters, and the Mark Hamill sideshow. And what you got is you got the press tour with The Last Jedi cast, who were just talking about the film, talking about the story, as much as they can. And then you had Mark Hamill. And what did Mark Hamill do? He was talking, and disclosure, all of this was unintentional. It's not like Mark intended to cause a bunch of controversy with his comments, but he did. And whether it was intentional or not, it did cause controversy. And the reason it did is because of he's the star of Star Wars, essentially, right? So he was kind of probably given a lot more liberty to say what he wanted and was less reserved because he's been in the role so long, he's understood the character much longer. And this is why he made some of those comments that he did about it not being his Luke Skywalker, about the character being different than he remembered, about the fact that this isn't where he thought the character should be going, etc. And so Mark Hamill on this time around, during the Rise of Skywalker, has been very quiet, given, compared to The Last Jedi, when given his number of comments about all of the creative decisions of that film, didn't exactly go the way he initially envisioned it, but, coming around in the end. Let's just remember that. He came around in the end. However, Mark Hamill was doing a little bit of press for Child's Play, and this is where, he's voicing Chucky, the doll. And he got asked about Star Wars because he's Mark Hamill, and he's gonna get asked about Star Wars. And he had this comment to say about this being his last film. Well, because Luke Skywalker had closure in the last one, the fact that I'm involved in any capacity is only because of that peculiar aspect of the Star Wars mythology, where if you're a Jedi, you get to come back and make a curtain call as a Force ghost. Now, this is true given the fact that George Lucas had Anakin come back in Episode 6 as a Force ghost just to, say, hey, you did it, you saved me, everything is good, you are the hero of the story. And so now, we expect that, and we think Force ghosts are cool as fans, and so we want them, and so we get them now. So, example, we got Yoda in The Last Jedi, who had already made his curtain call, as Mark would refer to it, in Return of the Jedi, just, popping up like Anakin did and like Obi-Wan did. But, since he's Mark Hamill, and this is the sequel trilogy, and this is supposed to be the Skywalker trilogy, with the film being titled The Rise of the Skywalker, you're gonna have to have Luke in there some way, somehow. So that explains this. And it's not like Mark's comment here angers anything towards the Star Wars franchise or anything. It's just, I think he's realized that once his character has been given closure like that, the story arc of that character is done. And the only reason he's involved in this film is because of Star Wars. It's because the Force Ghost aspect of Star Wars. And so, given this, Mark Hamill is being relatively quiet. Why? Well, it's possible that, like Marvel, and Disney owns Marvel, Disney owns Star Wars, that, for example, let's take Tom Holland. He doesn't get to know all of the story, he just gets to know his part of it, and he doesn't get to know anything else. And so maybe they kind of took this avenue with Mark Hamill this time because of the fact that the media was blown out of proportion last time about his comments about the film. And so they're trying to protect it and trying to get it a better view in terms of the fans. Because if you'll remember, and I'm sure you don't really have to remember too hard because it still goes on, the disproportionate kind of affection and hate towards this film, right? You either loved it or you hated it. And if you watched it enough times, you could appreciate more aspects of it, but you didn't necessarily agree with it. And this is going to be the biggest problem for Episode 9, is the fact that it's called The Rise of Skywalker. We have Leia, who has passed away in real life, being used in footage from The Force Awakens. You have Han Solo, who's dead already, so his character has been gone for 2 films at this point now. And what we're going to have is Luke Skywalker, who passed away in The Last Jedi, who's now going to have to make a small cameo to justify the ending of The Rise of Skywalker. So Mark Hamill is done playing Luke, and all of those reasons that I just mentioned make perfect sense why he is. And so I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below, not whether you're happy about Mark ending his career as Luke Skywalker, because we all know he's Luke, he's amazing, we would take it for the next 20 years if we could. But given the way the story is going, what do you think about Mark's slight involvement in his comments about ready to hang it up in terms of his character? Let me know with the comment down below. That does it for me here in this episode of Star Wars Coffee. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw and you want some more from Star Wars Coffee, you can go ahead and follow the channel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SW Coffee YouTube. Have some other big things in the pipeline, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited for those things and enjoyed this video. That does it for me here in this one. Once again, it's a blessing to have you support the channel and watch this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. May the Force be with you.